Are you feeling motivated, driven, and inspired? Is your sexual desire at an all-time high? My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine. And today's topic is stoking the fire. Just did a video called Guts, and Guts is talking about fire elemental, having the guts, having the inspiration and imagination, which are all fire elemental things, to be driven to move towards what it is you say you want. Now, in Ayurveda, fire elemental is known as pitta. So like I'm pitta dominant, the primary element my body is made out of, the three elements all of us have our bodies made out of, is pitta. Pitta is driven, it's active, it's fiery, it's passionate, it's you see this in the fire signs also, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Fire elemental, whether it be in astrology, whether it be through the construct of pitta, whether it be through the tarot, whether it be whatever these different methodologies in which throughout the annals of time we've echoed the construct of fire, whether it be our Agni. Agni is your digestive fire. Fire gets activated through heat. And, a lot of people have low sex drive, and they have low sex drive because they're overstimulating their fire. Now, Heather's never here to sex judge, kink shame, any of that. I think sexuality is sacred. And I think so long as consent is present, all forms of sexuality are sacred. You do you, boo-boo, And a lot of people are using the fire of imagination to dream up different things and creating their dreams. And a lot of people are not using it. They're just repeating the same things ad nauseum and going, life is very boring. And it's like, well, if you want it to not be boring, you've got to do something about that. Nobody's going to come and make it fun and exciting for you. If you want to have a fun time, you want to have a good time, what's a fun, good time for you? Go do that. And so when we work with fire elemental, you're working with something that as an element is very colorful. It's very passionate. It's very heated. If you take all your passion, heat, sexual interest, and constantly view sexual images on Instagram or through pornography, and you're constantly stoking your fire, and overactivating the energy, you're not letting the fire build. And so if you're struggling with having the sexual drive and desire that you want, one of the things that I would say is to not constantly overstimulate the self with sexual images. Try not masturbating for a week. If you can achieve that, try the next time you masturbate, only using imagination. Do not use imagery. Use imagination. Use your ability to imagine an actual human person that you might engage with in this world. You know what I mean? And give yourself an honest visualization of what might occur instead of stimulating yourself into domains that represent a construct of you being rejected because she's too good for you. You know what I mean? Like, pay attention to what you're doing with your sexuality. Pay attention to what you're spending it on. Is the value worth it? You may be taking all of your fire and pouring water all over it and just putting it out. You could get that fire really going. One of the hottest things you can do is to desire something and not have it and let the heat build. And a lot of times when we are, wanting to be driven, be motivated, we are doing a lot of things that remove the drive. Sugar can be an immunosuppressant and a depressant. We can do, alcohol can be a depressant. You drink too much alcohol, you have a hard time looking up. Your head will stoop and look at the ground. If you've ever witnessed a lot of alcoholics, they're often looking down, You'll lose that anahata, heart up, like, yay, I'm alive, So a lot of two-leggeds, and I'm not here to judge it, but they take depressants. Two-leggeds will be like, don't give that homeless person money. They'll spend it on alcohol. Anyhow, let's go to the liquor store. It's like, okay, weird realm. And it's, if you were in Germany or Scotland, a lot of my different blood types, and you drank every day, they might not consider you an alcoholic. And in the West, we quickly put that label on things. But what Heather Feather is asking is not like, can you judge your consumption of alcohol and your sex life? What I am asking is, how are you contributing to your fire in this life? If you keep putting out your fire with depressants, you might find you're depressed. You know what I mean? Maybe it's time to take a break from it and go do something fun for a couple of days. What role does fun have in your life? What role do jokes have in your life? People can have very stoic and serious opinions about jokes. I don't laugh at dad jokes, or I don't laugh at this type of joke. And it's like, I'm trying to laugh at every joke I possibly ever could, because to me, a life worth living is one full of joy, and I want to enjoy my life. So let me do my best to find everything funny all the time. You know what I mean? So that I might be a little bit more aligned. There is a term for shamans called fire in the head. And fire in the head is that beautiful triangle, or your three eyes even, in which you are able to use the imagination to envision a whole new planetary response, even depending on how large you want the influence of your imagination to be. And so how often have you used your imagination to envision peace in your life, and peace on earth, and harmony with your world, and divine cosmic timing, and being aligned to stoke the fires of a daydreamer that makes something truly valuable and precious come alive in the paradigm? All the valuable, precious things in our world, from my perspective, which is viably always wrong, are free. Breath is free. Life is free. You know what I mean? Hugs are free, usually. Water is free. Air is free. Your ability to see the beauty of our earth is free. Your ability to taste your foods, for many of you, is free, or to smell them, so that you can taste them. The ability to enjoy the sun is free. Most things, like freedom. Freedom is very freeing. It's free. There's no, most things that are truly precious are free. And we can spend a lot of our lives acting like a commodity. My life is not free. Got to pay these bills. I got to get back to work. I got to pay these bills. Heather knows that story. I tell God all the time, God's money, God's bills. And then I say I want to work for God. And I've been laughing at myself like, hey, God, P.S., I don't want to mess with your money or pay your bills. I'd rather laugh at your jokes. If you're going to give me tasks, here to serve your will. But can we just choose, I'm here to laugh at your jokes. That's what I'd like to do with the next 5 decades, if I fuck about it, I am currently working with stoking the fire of I Choose Life. I have, I say yes to life on my altar. I've had it for many, many years, and it comes from chronic severe depression and me wanting to opt in and having the opportunity to physician heal thyself. Right now, having cancer, I am aware that in order for me to do this, it needs to happen spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Fastest route being spiritually, of course. And I'm working with all those modalities, and have tremendous faith, capacity, and ability. So no need to fret. The duty for me is to stoke the fire of I Choose Life. And that means to stoke the fire of I choose that which nurtures me and takes care of me, not that which destroys my life. And so I get to look at the decisions I make, the foods I eat, the things I drink, the way I spend my time, how much commitment, attention, and energy I give to any kind of nonsense. How much attention and energy does the remainder of my life, which is collapsing all the time, does this warrant, based on the life I say I choose to live, and I am going to live? And now it's okay to not feel driven, to not feel motivated. Life can be quite redundant, even though each moment is a brand new one. We can take ginseng. We can take fire activating things, more pepper in your diet, more, cinnamon in your coffee. I like to do cinnamon and cardamom in my coffee in the mornings. Things that activate the digestive fires, but fire you up. So what fires do you stoke? And this is what I've been working to kind of speak to this week. Not just have the guts to be driven to create the thing that you want, but be clear on what that is and how much attention you're giving it. What fires are you stoking with your day? What stories are you telling? Because the air we breathe, the air we blow upon the world with all this stuff that we have to say is what's stoking the fire of creation each day. And so how are you stoking it? Is it serving you? I'm having a grand awakening around, no, I'm a very sensitive soul, and I've had a very dark perspective. And Oh, I have a lot of work to do in the garden. Clearly, there's a lot of weeding to do. There's a lot of old to let go of, outmoded beliefs to let go of, new activities to take on. Okay, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to activate my fire. I'm going to be mindful with my sexual energy, which is one of the things that gives me activation. What changes can you make this day to stoke your fire? You can always subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine on YouTube. I'm Moon.